let's learn this little riff here. It's really neat. And that's just the first little riff there. I don't have any distortion on. I'm just playing clean here. And of course, you can put a little bit of distortion on it. It really makes it sound cool if it breaks up a little bit, the sound. But not too much, okay, on this riff. Now, let's start with the left hand here. It's sort of a D chord form. It's really a D5 chord. And all that means is we don't have the third of the chord. There's no F sharp in it. We're going to have second fret here on the G string. Now the G string is the third one up from the floor. You have high E, B, and then G. So that's the string we want right there. We want second fret. Okay, if you know what a D chord is, this will be familiar to you. We're going to skip the high E. We're not going to use the high E string at all for it, okay? So the next string we're going to use is the B string, which is the string right next to the G string towards the floor. All right, so on the B string, we want to put our ring finger of our left hand in the third fret. Okay, so we have second fret G, and we have third fret B string. All right? Now, what we're going to do first with our pick, we're going to pick the open D string. The D string is the third string down from the ceiling. 1, 2, 3 is the D string. We're going to pick it open. Okay? So that's open. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to lift up this first finger, and then we're going to put it back down in a second. But lift it up, and then I want you to pick the G string and then hammer down that first finger right after it. Like that. So we go open on the D, then the G string will be open, and then hammer down with that first finger on the second fret there on the G string. And it actually makes a note. So we pick once here on the D, we pick once on the G string, and then the third note is made by the left hand. Now if you do it really slow and go, then you don't hit the note. So you have to do it fast, you have to hammer. That's why it's called a hammer, because you're hammering down that string like that. Alright, so we pick the D, we pick the G string, hammer 2. The next thing you do is pick the open D again. Okay, so pick the open D after that. So let's put it all together. Here we go, open D, open D, open G, hammer, and then open D. And then the next thing we're going to do is pick the B string here. Okay, so let's start over and add that onto it. Open D, G, open hammer 2, open D, B string 3, and then open G will be after that. Alright, so we have, again, slowly, and that's the rhythm. Bum, 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 bum. You want to let the strings ring. If you don't let them ring, you're going to lose that real cool sound that comes with it. And you kind of cut that one off when you go. You can kind of mute that a little bit. Just a little bit right at the end. Now, the next thing you're going to do is we're going to take our middle finger now and put it on the third fret of the D string. The D string, again, is the third string from the ceiling. And we're going to use our middle finger, put it on the third fret. But we're going to leave our ring finger where it is. Okay? Leave your ring finger where it is. Now you're ready for this next part. Pick the D string. It's on 3, so pick it. And then do the, let's see, let me make sure what I'm doing. Okay. We pick the D string on 3. Now we're going to pick the open G, so don't touch the G. Make sure it doesn't sound like this, or you're accidentally muting it with the middle finger. So curve your fingers around, get off that G string so it's open, and then we'll have open G with the B string on 3. See that? Okay? So we pick the D and then these two together. Alright, almost done. Now we're going to take this middle finger and put it on the A string on 3. Okay? So third fret on the A with the middle finger. Got that? After you pick that, then we're going to go back up here and pick the open G and the B string again. You just pick it again. Okay? So the first half, the first third of the song goes like this. And then the second third of the song, put that middle finger here on 3 and do this. And then the last third of the song, you go to the A string and do that. And that's the riff. Okay, so you have. Now he does it in groups of 2, and when you do it the second time of each group, he just stops on the A with a 3 and doesn't pick the B, the G and the B again. Okay, he just stops on it. So the first time of each group. The second time, you just hold that 3 there on the A. Now, as far as the picking goes, see, I do a down pick. Let me go through it to make sure what I do. Okay, when you're picking, you want to make use of upstrokes as well as downstrokes. Don't just pick everything down. And especially when you're at the top of a group and you're going to go back to a low string, do an upstroke, because that momentum will send you back down to where you need to be for the next part. So I pick down, and then I'm going to do an up pick on the G, and then a downstroke on the D, and then an upstroke on the on the B string, and then a downstroke on the G. So I'm just kind of alternating up and down. And those last 4 I just do all downs on. But in most of your strokes, when you're picking, will be downs, of course. But whenever you have a lot of notes in a short time, you want to make use of that upstroke. So one more time for you, really slow. And of course, you'll pick down here. I just do it up here so you can see easier. And also you can put some mutes in there. I kind of mute there at the end of the sections. And I mute by coming down with my right hand palm on the strings. So you can play around with that a little bit. So that's a really cool riff to that song. And I encourage you guys who just like the new music today, listen to some classic rock, because that's where it all came from. That's where it all started. So hope you guys enjoy it.